Você rápido?
Se ela falou alguma coisa a respeito de não tirar foto, eu não entendi nada.
Não, ela falou que você não tem que desligar o celular e deixar só pra tirar foto.
Everybody hear me okay?
Ok.
Yes? Okay, thank you. Okay, please do not stand up on the tram. Please be seated at all times. Can I have you take a seat, please?
I don't know who she's talking about. The seats.
She's coming back to
She's coming back to talk. They're all sitting.
I'm sorry, I thought I saw somebody standing up. Very important on the tram. Make sure you're seated at all times, okay? No standing up, trying to take pictures.
Pode ficar em pé não, tá vendo? Tá, porra.
All right,
Yeah.
please be seated at all times when the tram is in motion. Please keep your fingers, hands, arms, toes, feet, and legs all inside
And your nose.
as we will begin some very narrow area. My name is Roxy. And I'd like to welcome everybody to Daytona International Speedway, the world center of racing and home of the Daytona 500.
Sunny Daytona, Florida. The Sunshine State.
Just off to my left-hand side is our midway area. This is where a lot of the merchandise haulers and food vendors will meet us. So if you are here for some of our major events, make sure you do take a walk through that area. It is usually quite crowded in there. That is more than likely where you will be able to pick up your favorite souvenir. Now at this time we're going to be doing what's called our Rim Road Tour. We're going to be up on the top of between turns 3 and 4. You will have an awesome view from there. After your tour today, you can come out the back door to my right, follow alongside the building and cross the street over to the open gate here as we go through. Take a walk up to the grandstands free of charge. This time I'm going to turn you over to Ken Squire, who does have a bit of information to share with you at this time about our Speedway.
Daytona International Speedway was built with more than concrete and steel. It was built with vision, determination, and most of all, it was built with imagination. Imagination is what caused a small-town service station owner to dream of creating a racetrack that was bigger, faster, more exciting than any that came before or since. Imagination is what fuels every child who dreams of one day winning the great American race. Imagination is what's inspired millions of fans from all over the globe to climb into its grandstands and witness some of the greatest moments in motorsports history. Daytona Rising is a reimagining of what a race experience can be, blending the modern amenities that today's sports fans demand with the heritage that race fans expect from Daytona. Everything about the race experience, from seating to concessions to conveniences, will be reimagined to create the world's first true motorsports entertainment complex. Just as Daytona did more than 5 decades ago, Daytona Rising will harness the power of imagination yet again and reimagine an American icon in the process. To learn more about Daytona Rising, visit www.daytonarising.com.
Now, back in the late 1950s, when Mr. Bill France Sr., also known as Big Bill, was looking for a piece of land to build his speedway, he did come across with 480 acres of land, in which 180 acres was all inside the walls of the speedway. He was able to dig out 1 million cubic yards of dirt and create our man-made lake in the center of our speedway, known as Lake Lloyd. Now, Lake Lloyd at the time was 44 acres, but in 2004, during a multi-million-dollar renovation, they did fill it in by one-third, and to this day, it is now 29 acres. It is 16 to 35 feet deep. It has been known for bass fishing tournaments, water skiing, speedboat racing, irrigation, and fire control. Just off to my left-hand side across the street is the Daytona International Airport. It is known to be one of the busiest airports in the country on the day of the Daytona 500. Now we're going to get you out on track today. There's only about 65 days that we can get you out on the Speedway to do one of our tours. So even though it's cold and rainy out, I would think that you would want to call it your lucky day. We're going to go through gate 65. And as we do, looking off to our left-hand side is coming out of turn 2. And looking off to my right is going in to turn 3.
Agora começa o passeio, hein?
Just off to my left-hand side where you see that patch of grass with the roads around it, that is one of 2 of our road courses called the Chicane, also called the bus stop, or the second road course closer to the front stretch known as the International Horseshoe. These road courses are used by the Rolex 24-hour race, the 28 Car Supplement, the WWA, the World Karting Association, which is go-kart racing here at the end of December. One lap then is 25 miles. Also do motorcycle racing, one lap then is 29. Just off to my right is turn 3. We're going to work our way over to turn 4. The distance between these 2 turns is 2,600 feet from the top of the hall down to the ground line. 44 feet or 440. One lap around for the 3 cup cars is 6 miles. And you are looking at a 31-degree banking drive right. Straight down off to my right, the yellow double line up to that wall is approximately 40 feet. About 5 feet from that wall up there is primarily where the motorcycle racing will happen down here at speeds of about 190 miles per hour. Now, if you and I wanted to challenge these high beams, we would have to go at least 70 miles per hour, or gravity will have a tendency to pull us down. But of course, your straight cup cars will come through these turns pretty aggressive, going over 195 miles per hour, and occasionally they will try more up there. If one of those cars should happen to hit that wall, it is called the safer barrier. It just stands still and full. The outside part of the wall is made out of concrete and a plastic. If one of those cars should happen to hit that wall, it will At this time, we're exiting turn 4, and we are heading down the front stretch of our speedway. Just off to my left-hand side, a very large area is known as the skid pad. Now, this is where the cars
Essa é o meu amigo Joel, hein? Na sacada, Joel.
We are looking at the skid pad to my left here. This is where the cars may end up if they're getting pushed out of the way. Some will get back in the race and some will not. Some will end up heading over to the garage area after hitting the safer barrier to my left. Now just off to my left, one of 3 of the tallest scoring towers. The top will let you know what the race is on 1 through 15. I'll tell you the 15 moving cars at the top. And to the side of it is a white rectangular frame. Here in the bed, they do install what's called a jumbotron, but I like to call it a big screen TV with instant replay. Sitting or standing near one of those, you'll never miss any parts of the race. And looking straight down off to my left-hand side, it's the beginning of pit road, 1,600 feet long, 43 pit boxes, and if you can imagine 7 mechanics
Ali
jumping
tem
over that
um
little
desenho
white
ali, né?
wall
Deve ser
with 4
aquele
tires, 2 cans of snorkel fuel,
bandeirinha,
and a
né?
bottle of Gatorade. They will try and take care of business in 14
Juninho, imagina
seconds
voar
or
nesse
less.
negócio a 350.
É, meu filho. Show.
Now we are driving down the front stretch of our speedway in the tri-oval. As you can see off to my left here, the grass is growing nice and green. And I'm assuming this week they're going to put down the very large emblem that's painted into the grass for the Daytona 500 that you normally will see on TV or from the grandstand. These grandstands to my right here at the front stretch do stretch out 0.8 of a mile, holding about 102,000 race fans. At the very top of the black and white checkered seats here to my right, up above where you see the windows, that is the Sprint Tower.
Fala aí,
Now we
Fábio.
are coming up to the start and finish
Dá uma
line.
oi,
I'll
Fábio.
drive by fairly slowly.
Aí, Joel, vai ficar bobo, hein?
Of the start and finish
Joel,
line.
que doideira, Joel.
Joel, 45
Now,
graus
the Sprint
na
Tower just
curva.
above us is actually an area where NASCAR control is, also live radio such as MRN, and areas for
45 acho que não dá pra segurar,
NASCAR
não.
for time
A rua aquilo
along
deve
with
ter 45 graus.
the Houston, Winston,
45
Houston press box. And also we do have about a total of 75 suites in the area also for Fox or TNT to broadcast the race from. Now off to my left-hand side, a 4-story building called the Daytona 500 Club. Up on the 4th level are the presidential ticket holder seats when they do bring the winning car into victory lane, which is just down below. All those people up on the 4th level will come down, sit in a small green bleacher area and help celebrate with the team. After the celebration is over and done with, they will bring the car over for an inspection just to make sure that the win is legal.
Então, a gente está anunciando aqui que
For
o
the
próximo
Daytona 500 race,
campeão
it
dessa
is in the
temporada, né?
contract for all the teams to know.
Foi o
That
Rubinho
whoever wins
Barrichello.
that race, they do not get to take that
Então,
car
ele
home
utilizou
with them.
aqui a
That's
nossa
because
comemoração.
he's inside our building for almost 71 years before the owner gets that car back. So today, after your tour, you will be able to
Mas eu venho bem de carro
see
dele.
that winning car from the 2013 Daytona 500. That is the number 48 Chevy Load Top. No car wash has been done to it, so you will see with the same champagne and confetti still all over it. Jimmie Johnson is the winning driver. He is now known as one of 10 of the Sprint Cup drivers who have doubled up on winning the Daytona 500. First time for him winning the 500 was in 2006.
Deve dar aqui uns
Now just off to my right as we head down Pit Road, a smaller set of grandstands underneath the blue paint. These are known as the Pit Road patios, mainly used by the
essa pista, certo?
owners and sponsors of the car.
Ah,
Então acho que são 5 milhões cada volta, são 100 voltas.
And also coming up off to
5
my
milhas
right,
dá
a smaller white building just past
5 mais 2,
Pit Road patio.
5 mais 2,
This
8.
is the old Victory Lane, now being used by NASCAR on speed. Also, Fox or TNT will
8
broadcast
quilômetros,
from there,
Joel,
as well
de
as
pista,
Hollywood, hometown.
Até fundo no limite.
We're going to make a stop here, and we're going to take a walk
Calcanhar no
into Gatorade
acelerador.
Victory Lane, but we're going to wait a few minutes here because there is another tour inside. So I want to try and keep you as dry as possible so you're not standing out in the rain. We're going to hold up here for just a couple minutes. Daytona, that is one of 2 of the team's spotter stands. Second one is at the Super Stretch grandstand. The team spotter stands are very important to the drivers. That's because the speedway is so large that the drivers cannot always see what is going on around them. So a crew member, known as a spotter, will sit up in each of the spotter stands throughout the race, and they'll let the drivers know when they should go high, low, or possibly pass.
Did you hear how he wanna drive?
That would be amazing.
I wanna bus.